So in this video we're going to have a look at a few open chord voicings further up the neck of the guitar that you may not have seen before. So to start off, I'm going to play a simple chord progression down the bottom of the guitar with chords you most likely already use. And then I'm going to play the exact same chord progression further up the neck of the guitar to show you that it can give you a lot of variety to chord progressions you already know. Then afterwards, I'm going to talk a little bit about how I'm finding these chord progressions in the first place. Okay, so the chords I was playing there were, to begin with, a G chord, then a C major chord, then an E minor chord, and then a D chord. So for the voicings further up the neck, this is now going to be our G chord. And to play that, I'm putting my third finger on the 10th fret of the A string, I'm putting my second finger on the 8th fret of the B string, and I'm putting my little finger on the 10th fret of the high E string. Now my thumb here is muting the low E, and the D is also muted by my third finger, so that's our G chord. To get our C chord, all we're going to do is our thumb that is already over the top, we're going to push that down on the 8th fret on the low E string. That's our C. To get our E minor chord, we're just going to take that thumb off. Everything else is going to stay the same for our E minor chord. And then for our D chord, all we're going to do is move our third finger down a string, and that's going to be our D chord. So there are a few ways to figure out these kind of chords by yourself as well. So the chord that we learned up here, this G, if I was to fret it slightly differently like this still might look like a brand new shape to you, but it's actually not. This is just a C major chord shape. And instead of having our root on the C here, I'm just moving it up. And it's now a G chord. So similarly, if I was to take a D major here, there's a D major up here too. And this chord, again, might look brand new, but all this chord is a G major shape. And I've just taken off where the capo would be here. So if you take off the capo and you played this chord, you're left with this note here, this G. It's a fourth, so we don't want that in the chord. So all I do is I reach my first finger back to the 7th fret, and I fret a D note here, which is the 7th fret on the G string, and that gives us a D chord again. So I'd say one of the best and also easiest ways to figure out new voicings for yourself with these open chords is to just take shapes you already know and try moving them around the neck. And you'll be surprised how many of them work in different places as well. So another great way of working out these kinds of voicings is to learn your fretboard properly. And what I mean by that is, I think we're really guilty as guitar players of shying away from any sort of theory knowledge. And I think you don't have to do this, but if you can get some basic chord theory and know what notes are being played within a chord, it gives you so many more options for discovering new voicings. So what I mean by that as well is, I think as guitar players, we often, because there's tabs so readily available and things like that, if I was to say fret the 5th fret of the high E string, a lot of us don't know that that's, say, an A note and then B, C sharp. And if you do learn your fretboard like that properly, you can start creating new voicings for yourself without having to learn them from other people as such. So they can give you a greater range for creativity, basically. Let me know if you'd like me to do more videos like this on different open chord progressions and different open chord voicings. I hope this video has been useful, and I'll see you in the next one.